Well, hi guys. This is the last day of my 3-week residency at Cambridge Artworks, working in the lovely blue caravan. And every Friday I have done a bit of a summary about what I've been doing, just talking through the sort of things I've been learning. I've been using the time to basically learn sort of printmaking techniques, and this week I've been doing screen printing. So you can look back through my feed and see the various bits I've been posting, but let me sort of talk you through just discoveries or experiments, mostly learning by making mistakes, but that's what experimentation is all about, isn't it? So let me turn the camera around and show you. So here's the lovely caravan, which I will be clearing out on Monday. So yeah, here's the press that I've been using, the screen print I've been using. This was one that my mum bought actually. She's let me borrow. So it's got a hinge to it, which is really helpful, which helps it in the same place. Yeah, it's a sort of A4 size, and so I prepare it using it's basically sort of packaging tape, which is waterproof, which means that I can sort of clean it and not have to take that off every time, which is nice. Obviously you can see this needs a clean. Yeah, and this is the most recent one that I've done. So I've been having a go at different ways of doing screen print, having done YouTube, yeah, sort of finding out some bits and pieces. So the red splodges and a few other ones, I have been using paper templates, paper stencils. Basically, found that newsprint, the really thin newsprint, works particularly well. So you cut out whatever shapes you're wanting, and you put that on the screen, and then you sort of drag it through. I'm sure you know how screen printing works using the squeegee. The paint that I'm using, with this set, there were some bits of paint that came with it, but I've also got a few bits left over from when I did my masters at Anglia Ruskin, which is basically just using any acrylic paint. So I think this is like System 3 or I don't know, student grade, various bits, mixed with a acrylic printing medium, and it says on it what the mixture needs to be, and then you can use that on screen prints. So yeah, so my first experiment was with paper stencils. I didn't find I could do very many before it started bleeding through, as you can see here. This sort of thing, which actually is quite fun. It depends what you're going for, basically. The next thing I tried, I'm trying to look for, here we go, some examples, were sort of freeform, where I didn't use a stencil at all, and I just put paint on top of the screen, and then I sort of squeegeed it in various directions, and then tried another, and then tried another. Sometimes repeating it on dry, sometimes doing it wet on wet. As I moved and did that, I found that there was various textures left behind from previous ink, which I really like, so I started playing with that, and sort of putting the ink on in sort of shapes and marks, drying it with a hairdryer, and then doing another and another, with various sort of levels of success. It did mean, though, that the paint dried on the screen, which you're not supposed to do, which then, when I came to doing other ones, meant that it's not at all as it should be. All this mottled shouldn't be there. It should be a very clean, should be like this, every single bit. And the reason it isn't is because it's got dried ink on it. Yeah, and so I actually quite like that, and this is and yeah, trying to sort of work out what I can and I can't do, and what happens if I try this or that or the other, etc. So yeah, this is me trying out other ways of stenciling. So that was actually using some laser cut, sort of heavier paper that I did a while back. What else have I tried? Oh yeah, the other one, let me see, over here. This was actually using pre-bought stencils, plastic stencils like this one, and just attaching that to the screen to see what happened if I use that. And then today, as you can see, I've been layering up a bit, trying a few other options. The main thing I've been doing today is working with vinyl, so sticky back plastic. So yeah, the shiny side and then the other side, and then either cutting it with a knife or scissors, but I've also had a go doing it with the soldering iron, which is no longer hot, and seeing what that did, because that was quite nice for doing the details. So this, for example, I did with the soldering iron, but you do find, I found anyway, that the edging isn't at all crisp because you've got the sort of bobbly meltedness as you've cut it out, but that might be what you want. And obviously you can do the reverse, the negative or the positive. So, you know, I also did the other version of that as well. So you can see up here, this was my first attempt, which didn't work especially well, but then I did the negative of it and started getting more sort of repeated results really, and trying them on top of things I'd already done. Yeah, and that was with vinyl, using that, which is quite nice to use over and over until it starts splodging. So you can see the different things I've been trying. Obviously different colours will work differently on top of other things, but it's just fun to give it a go really. So I've not been, let me turn the camera around. I've not been especially, well, I've not been trying to do anything that is any good or you know, planning to sell, or I'm learning a technique, seeing what happens if I do this and that, and how to actually use the screen print, all the washing that needs being done, whether I like it as a technique, whether I feel it's got potential for using in my practice. I don't feel I've given it enough chance yet to answer that question. So this residency has really served its purpose for me in that it's given me a space and time to have a start with these techniques, the springboard that means as I go back into my studio in the next few weeks, I'm already in the middle of something. I don't know about you, but I always find it's so much easier to get into the studio and on with something if I'm already in the middle and looking forward to what can I do next, rather than starting something from the beginning where you procrastinate and yeah, sort of feel daunted by where do I start, etc. So so yeah, thanks for joining me as I've been doing this, and obviously all these pieces are like also in the middle as well as my learning, so you can continue watching the journey sort of in my home studio in the bottom of my garden as to where I take this, what I do with this, how I use this within my paintings, and whether I start doing prints in their own right, whether I use it within sculpture. You know, those are all the questions I'm asking myself. I've got a little journal where I'm constantly writing little notes of what worked, what didn't, what, you know, excited me, what I hated, you know, etc, etc. So anyway, yeah, so check in as I move forward, and see you soon. Take care. Bye then.